Okay, if you're just now with me, uh, I'm writing the governor of Ohio. I, I just fucking see all this unlawful bullshit going on, and it's got to change. Okay, so this is the second time I'm writing the governor. This is my second in office. I hope I get a response because the legislature looks really bad right now. State v. Taylor states that definitions are integral to statutory scheme and of the highest importance when understanding the legislature's intent. To ignore the definition section is to refuse to give any legal effect to that part of statutory law of state. Constitution Article 6 clearly states that state law may if, not if. State law makes a law contrary to the Constitution, any law of the United States, then the state law is null and void, or notwithstanding is actually what it says. Here is the issue at hand. We have United States Code, Title 18, Chapter 2, Section 30, Section 6. The term motor vehicle means any carriage or other contrivance that is drawn or powered by mechanical power and used for commercial purposes in the transportation of persons, property, or cargo, directly or indirectly, with any business for profit. Then we have the Ohio Revised Code 4501.01 states motor vehicle means any vehicle including motorhomes and recreational vehicles that is propelled or drawn by power other than muscular power or power collected from overhead electric power wire. The statute does not look good on the legislature's intent and screams fraud. The people's lives are being affected by this legislature's intent on broadening the term so it affects people it was never supposed to apply to. Oh, I was working on a motion to dismiss, notice of void statute, notice of intent to impose or injure, um, and basically this is my defense for my driving without a license, what they charged me with, and state legislator statutes contrary to federal law is not allowed and has effect. Force the responsibility and duties of commercial entities making profit, personal gain upon the free American people in an effort to oppress or injure the private property rights, right to freely travel on property owned by the people, direct violation of the Constitution and the federal law, with penalties up to not more than 10 years in prison. See USC 18.2. Court to enforce laws that I have clearly shown have no standing because they oppress or injure unalienable. It's not inalienable, guys. It's unalienable rights clearly established to be protected would because they oppress or injure unalienable rights clearly established to be protected and would be two or more people conspiring to violate rights. to private property, the right to acquire that property, and the right to use that property to its fullest extent in violation of USC Title 18, Section 241. A motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim of action for which relief can be granted. I would like to collect my costs and fees for having to defend such a frivolous case. I will exercise every legal remedy possible if the court continues to enforce laws contrary to that known as the law of the land, violating the very power and provisions incorporating your city with the power of a corporate body under its corporate charter. I'm kind of threatening to take their right to be a city away, basically. Because if they violate their own corporate charter, then their fucking corporate license gets taken from them. Yeah, pretty fucked up. I do not argue over the simple fact that a state can impose laws for a reasonable, permissible regulation for the safety and welfare of the public. Those laws and regulations have constitutional limitations, and the Supreme Court outlined what they meant by permissible regulation in People v. Notas, where they stated speed limits, stop signs, no passing zones, lane change signaling, lighting requirements, and etc., but not at the expense of losing the private property rights of the people. We will not stop here. We are going after the unlawful null and void statute by the legislature. I'm writing the state senate, attorney general, and the governor in this matter on the statute. Federal laws they're violating right now, enforcing all this shit has no effect. Title 18, Section 242. Whoever under color of any law, statute, and color of law, that anytime you talk to them, they're under the color of law, because they're not government entities. They're just playing the part of government entities. See, when something is colorable, it is giving the appearance of having lawful effect, even though it doesn't, and they don't have lawful effect because they're all it's a fucking business, man. That's what you people need to learn to understand, is these people aren't who they say they are, and you aren't who you think you are. It's nuts, dude. Whoever, under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, custom, willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession of district or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or to different punishments, pains, penalties, blah, 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 shall be fined under or imprisoned, not more or both 1 year. And if bodily injury results from the acts committed in this violation of section, or if such acts include the use, attempted use, or threatened use of dangerous weapon, explosives, or fire, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. Okay, so pretty much they're looking at 1 year in prison, at the very least. And then we go to Title 18, 241, and two or more persons conspire to arrest, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district, in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or because of having his so exercised the same, or his having so exercised the same, or if two or more persons go in disguise on the highway or on the premises of another with intent to prevent or hinder his free exercise and enjoyment of any right or privilege secured, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. So they're looking at 10 years for conspiracy, to conspire together to violate rights. Now, okay, that's where we're at. But um, yeah, this is where we're at here. We this shit's gotta end, and I'm gonna demand that they fuck tired. Quit, bitch. Billing or performance via man. If you don't know what a writ of mandamus is, it's really pretty simple. It's well, it's not simple. It's basically what a writ of mandamus does is it's a remedy for the people, and it comes from Old English law. And basically, it's where you and our officials aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, and not acting in a proper way. Um, I mean, if they're violating the law, you compel them to perform by a writ of mandamus. And basically, you write to the court, the issue, and expect it to be taken care of. I haven't written one, and I don't ever hear of them. But I learned it from old Vietnam veteran Carl Miller, and he's actually what got me into understanding most of the Constitution and understanding how things actually work because let's all be honest, man. I mean, they don't teach us nothing, and I've said it before. They're dumbing the people down, man. I mean, they really, really are. It's facts. The greatest country on earth at one point in time. And do you know where the United States places in math out of all the other countries? 38th. The greatest country in the world placed 38th in math, 24th in science. They had a study done on the best schools out of the top 10, and United States wasn't on that list. They did another study on countries that needed to improve their curriculum and their schooling, and United States was number 2. So it's a good thing we made that list, but it's just unlawful. It's just, man, and when we let them take over the education system, that's where we messed up, because they've had. All right, I'm just gonna stop right there. But yeah, this is where we're at, man. If anybody wants to join in and write these fuckers and let them know how you feel, which actually I'm gonna give them Okay. I think I got my point down. We'll see if I get a response. If I get a response, I'll let you know for sure. And I will let you see how this whole interaction goes, man. I've decided that I'm pushing some buttons on some pretty high people. I might need some. I might need to document some of this. So, message sent. Sweet. Good deal. Hopefully, I get a response.